Welcome to the Home of Misfits podcast, where normal is optional, masks are unnecessary, and you belong. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Home of Misfits, where normal is optional, masks are not necessary, and everybody belongs. And today I'm excited. I'm here with Sam Mitchell, and it's just awesome. I get so many amazing guests to come in and get to talk to them. So, hi, Sam. Welcome.
Hey, buddy, thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about you? Just like the Cliff Notes?
Yeah, I can try to at least. So, what I do is I run a podcast called Autism Rocks and Rolls. It's a podcast about autism and how we cope with daily struggles that you may or may not understand. Through the podcast, it's grown so much. I develop sponsors, a board of 6. I do events at any answers where I'm from, and I've done speaking service. I've spoken all the way to the top in Canada to the bomb south in Orlando, my friend.
I love that. I love that. So, question for you. Before the podcast, the awards, and the big names, who were you when no one was clapping yet?
Shy kid who felt like crap about himself.
Hmm. Like always? Has it always been a thing?
Not really a thing. It's mainly hit that during the 15 years when I was 15 years old.
Oh, you mean the
Otherwise, it was more
teenager?
of scared to fit in beforehands before I hit that roadblock.
Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about that roadblock. What was that like?
Roadblock was literally getting excluded for having autism as a label.
Mm-hmm. Well, sadly, that has been a thing for so long, and it's like, and honestly, what I like these days, more and more people are coming out and talking more openly about it, and it's more and more accepted, and you don't get that side eye so much anymore.
I know it's great when you're an adult too, because some people still don't grow up, unfortunately, but most people do and they leave you alone.
Yeah, that is true. Well, I mean, the this thing too is like a lot of people, especially in our society, people don't want to offend, and instead of like starting a conversation, they choose to ignore because it feels easier. You get that too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's something you have to deal with too when you're on the spectrum. Is people like to ignore you over giving you a chance, which I find mind blowing some days.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean me too. I mean, it took me a while too to open up to people, and now I'm just like I'm like the bull in the china shop. I just
That's
plow
me too,
in.
except I'm not a bull in a china shop. I'm the bull in the china shop with his mouth who likes to run it a lot.
I love it. But I mean, it's like what I find is it's like when I'm the one initiating the conversation, you know, um, people at first are a little bit hesitant, but then it's like, you continue talking to them and they open up more and more and they realize it's like, oh, wait a minute, there's really, I can have a real conversation with this person.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm a tamed animal almost. Wild at first, but then once you get to talk to me a little more, I'll start opening up a little bit. But I'm not going to open up the first time we meet. Good luck with that.
Well, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's like you don't have to like tell your life story like the first 2 seconds you meet somebody. So.
Yeah, I'm probably sure they don't want to know about the birth of Sam Mitchell, so we'll leave that maybe for another day.
Well, but I mean, it's like that, and I like it. It's like that messy middle. That is like, okay, there was an issue. I didn't fit in. All of that, and then there's this almost like awakening, that realization thing, and it's like trying to figure things out until you step into and it's that messy middle, that or dirty middle, or whatever you want to call that part in between that nobody sees and nobody's talking about and nobody's addressing.
Right, I can see where you're coming from with that. Yep.
Yep. I mean, people is like, oh wow, and it's like you look at successful people and people assume that success happened overnight. No, it didn't. There was a lot of sweat, tears, pain, blood, all in between, to become that person. And I think it's the same with us who are. I call myself a neurospice, because it's a thing, and I'm okay with that. And and I think it's like once we understand ourselves, how we approach others and start conversations, I think change too.
I can see where you're coming from with that. Yeah, I can agree on that one 100%.
Hmm. Yeah. Let's see. When you say you're a misfit, but not by choice, what did it actually feel like growing up? You want to go into that a little
A
bit?
misfit, being a misfit, literally. Being a misfit who liked some of the oddest things alive when other people liked other parts that I thought made no sense. But and yet they thought what I liked made no sense. I mean, every child likes professional wrestling, but usually you grow out of it when you're 20 or
Well, some do,
16.
some don't. You know,
I
I never
know.
got into it.
And but the children at the time span in my grade thought he likes professional wrestling. Are you such a child? I'm not going to deal with that. No, I just like it. Leave me alone.
Right, right. No, that's cool. What were some other things that you liked that others didn't?
Well, let's think about this here. So I've been always been into traveling. I think a lot of people in my grade were stay at homes, hanging out with their buddies versus me wanting to go see the world and explore more.
Okay, nice. What's something people assume about you when they hear successful podcast host that is completely wrong?
That it probably took overnight, and it didn't.
Yeah, like
It
we
took a
just
lot
talked
of, as
about.
you said, blood, sweat, tears to make 24K downloads happen.
Right? It's like, and it's so funny too, because it's like sometimes it's like, oh, I have this brilliant idea. I'm going to do this podcast, and people will just flock to it. No,
No,
you got to
I
work
got
on it.
lucky. I'm happy people flock to it. There's been lots of
Nice.
podcasts that it didn't work out, and I'm one of the very people that, in a rare occasion, it did work out.
Right. But again, it didn't happen overnight. You had to work on it. You had to put effort in it. You had to like advertise for it. You had to invite people to it. It didn't just like, oh, look, here it is. Oh, was that for you, that case?
No, it wasn't like that. I mean, it started like, oh, wow, this is a great idea. Then it started fading. And I thought, well, I got to do a little more promoting myself. Promoted myself and went back up. And I
Yeah.
got to work a lot of times to get a system with my nonprofit and the podcast to where I can go out and promote, to where I can go out and speak, but also not be so crazy about it because I
Mm-hmm.
can't speak every month of the year.
Right.
No one can. I mean, that's too much traveling, too much money, man.
It's not just money, it's like the mental bandwidth, man.
It's both. I mean, I don't get sometimes how people can afford some stuff these days. I wonder how people can afford cruises.
I know. Well, it's priorities and choices and all of those things, so it's all good. So what is something people assume about you when they hear, oh, I've already got that one. Hold on. You said you felt bad about yourself after your diagnosis. What were your thoughts that hit the hardest?
I felt bad about myself when I got the diagnosis. I felt bad about myself when I got the diagnosis because I was so confused about
Mm-hmm.
my life. And after, I was happy because it made sense. But then after that eureka happy moment was like, oh, no, I'm going to get excluded. I'm going to have to deal with these stereotypes. So, yeah, it's going to hit my parents in the butt a little bit. And they've had the old battles. Some I've seen, some I haven't seen.
Mm-hmm.
And to them, I'm sorry because I'm not going to BS this. While I am on the autism spectrum, a lot of people are too, but some, it can be a burden. For me, it wasn't as big of a burden as it can be for others.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot
But
has to do
regardless, we
with,
think they're successful, period. That's what Autism Rocks and Rolls believes in.
I love that. And it's like for me, so when I was diagnosed with ADHD, and then the slight hint of autism to go with it, it's like, oh my gosh, so much made sense. Why certain things, why the way I reacted to certain things, the way I did certain things and stuff. And I'm sure it was the same for you once you got the diagnosis. At first it's like, ah, crap. But then
No,
it's like,
that was the odd part. It wasn't. It was,
oh, nice.
yay! Oh, crap.
Nice.
Because I thought afterwards, well, we're going to deal with this. At the time, it's not BS anymore, but I thought, well, we're going to deal with this BS, and what's it going to be like for me and my parents? I mean, am
Mm-hmm.
I got to be living at my house the rest of my life? I thought the same questions my parents were thinking, I think, at times.
Hmm. Well, plus again, I mean, at that time, there was still so much stigma around the whole thing, and it's like they have learned so much about autism, ADHD, and all the other neurospice things that are happening, over the last few years. It's insane. It's crazy, really. I mean, I love
It
it.
is crazy. I think we're aware of it, but we're just not accepting of it still.
But I think the acceptance is becoming more and more because more and more people are stepping forward that they have or dealing with, I don't say have, but I mean, deal with one thing or another or multiple things, and it's just having that understanding and being more open about it and talking about it. It's like people like us, that's kind of like why I do this podcast. So we do have a voice to put out there to let others know it's like, hey, there's nothing wrong with us. We just function differently.
Right. But here's the thing. I can see where kind of think we are accepting of it. You run a podcast called the Home of Misfit, right?
Yeah.
And there's a reason why I'm bringing this up. Okay, I stated in my bio I was a misfit, not by choice. The reason why I'm a misfit is because of how I was treated in society.
Mm-hmm.
The minute I don't have to become a misfit is the minute I think we'll become fully accepting of it.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. And here's my thing, it's like everybody is a misfit because nobody on this planet fits in every single box society has made for us. And by not fitting in just one box, you're a misfit because you do not fit.
That is
so,
that is fair. I'll give you that one.
so
But I
that's how
don't
I
feel
look
like you
at
should
it.
be a misfit. That should be just a part of life. I mean,
Right.
it shouldn't be you fit in one box, so you're a misfit. Really? Come on. It should be you don't fit in a box like everyone else doesn't. Okay, cool.
That's what I'm saying. We're all misfits. So and it's like 'cause some people, it's like, some people that I approach to be guests on the show, and it's like, well, I'm not a misfit, and I'm like, okay, denial is a beautiful place to be. We're all misfits. So, and then they're like, oh, never looked at it that way. There you go. um who you were trying to be before you realized you didn't need fixing.
I was trying to be someone who had the life of like an average person, maybe an average high schooler, more specifically, a guy who tried to fit in, try to like the things people like, wanted to have a prom date. And I'll tell you, I didn't go to my prom, so
Hmm.
that never happened. The minute I also decided to quit people pleasing was when I was 16 years old. I realized people pleasing was a crutch. And the minute I
Mm-hmm.
got rid of the prom idea, the minute I got rid of the muscles, the liking things other people liked, my life felt less stressful, man.
I know, right? Isn't that amazing?
I know, and I've heard so much that it takes a lot longer for people to realize this lesson. Some people learn it when they're 30. I'm thinking, I learned that at 23. Man,
Nice.
I guess I
Well,
must
some
have grown
people
up a
some
little bit
people never
quicker.
learn it. Right. But some people never learn it. So, mm, what did being normal cost you when you did that, when you try to fit in?
I would say being normal caused me my self esteem.
Mm.
Trying to fit in and tiptoeing around eggshells all the time. And no one wants to feel like that.
No, it's
I
not
mean, they
only
don't
that, but
want to
it's
be on their tippy
exhausting.
toes walking. They want to be on their feet walking.
And it's exhausting. Constantly putting on that mask, constantly trying to be somebody you're not. It's exhausting. At least it
Right.
was
But
for
I
me.
also agree with the fact that even though society has standards, they need to have them. Because,
Hmm.
hey, if I didn't mask, I'd be biting people. And we shouldn't.
Well, there's that. But some people deserve it, so, let's just leave it at that. So everyone says I turn pain into purpose, but what was the messy middle nowadays saw? What? What was? Never mind that question. That makes no sense to me.
Here, try reading the response. Maybe I can make sense of it.
Okay. Everyone says I turn pain into purpose, but what was the messy middle nobody saw? Oh, now it makes sense to me too.
Okay. What I was saying is I turned pain into purpose, but nobody saw the pain. Nobody
Right.
saw the tears at home when I got excluded. Nobody saw the pain that I felt mentally. Nobody saw the pain I'd feel after I was the last person picked on the dodgeball team.
Mm.
And
I
being
hear
picked
that.
last is making you feel like, oh, you're just the extra piece of fries with your steak. I don't want to be
Hmm.
the fries. I want to be the steak, man.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And guess what? I did that, thankfully, by turning the pain into purpose from fries to steak, but nobody saw that transition when I went from fries to steak.
Right. They saw the end result. It's like, oh, but that overnight success, right?
Exactly. Yep, there you go.
Yep. There we go. What almost stopped you from starting Autism Rocks and Rolls?
I think what stopped was the nervousness of if I can even do a podcast because I learned it through high school's media club through my high school's podcast Thundercast, but I had a media advisor. Well, I
Mm.
started my own, obviously because my media advisor is busy and only can spend so much time with us and the rest of our club members. He's not going to come and save my butt. Now he might help me out by saying, "Hey, here's what you do for this," but he's not going to run over to my house all the time and be like, "Okay, what do you need, buddy? What do you need, buddy?"
Right. Oh
But I
yeah,
think I learned pretty well if I got 24K downloads, if I say myself.
that's awesome. Congratulations. That's huge. Be proud of yourself. I'm proud of you, if it
Oh, thank
matters.
you. So I always think, well, if I got 24K and I don't have to have him running, I've done something right.
Exactly. Well, and I mean, and I think it's now more than ever there's a need for podcasts like yours, like mine, to reach people, to let them know it's like, hey, you're not alone, and it's okay. We all struggle, but you struggle through it until you get to the other side,
Right. I
and then
mean,
there's the success.
right. I mean, people sometimes see our mental health system as a joke, and clearly some media outlets that are big in this world aren't doing anything about it. So they're not going to find the big media outlets. They're going to find medium sized or small outlets like ours.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Not saying we're not bigger than other podcasts. It's just
Oh,
that,
but we're so much better.
yeah, but we're so much better, sure. But we're not like bigger than your TV news on, trying to
Right.
think here without
Yeah.
bashing a company here.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And
certain ones that
I
may be
think
more political, let's put it that way.
Right, and I think the difference between us small little entities versus the big ones, people realize it's like we're real. We don't sugarcoat, we don't, at least for me, it's like I don't lie. What you see is what you get. Boom. You know?
I
And
always wanted to be a reporter, but then I'm afraid if someone says something really stupid, I'd be like, why did you do that? If I had to cover pretty much someone trying to clean poop with their hands, I might ask, okay, I'm shutting this down because the next thing I say, I'm going to call you a complete idiot. So I better shut this interview down.
I hear you. I do the same thing. And it's like, you know what? It's like this is my show. I don't have to do this. So but so far I have to say all my guests have been pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, my
So
guess has been pretty cool too. I'm very nitpicky with it too, and when you have a spin-off series that can have other guests, works out like a charm.
oh, nice. I love that. Good for you. That's awesome. Let's see. What's the harsh reality of being a misfit that people don't talk about enough?
I think the harsh reality of being a misfit is you're not like everyone else, and the fact that you know it stinks. There may be people with autism who are a misfit, but because of their brain wiring and their maybe not higher understand the world, they don't get they're a misfit. They think, oh, life is great. I got buddies, yada, 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 like everybody else.
Right.
No.
And
With
sometimes
me
we
in
look at others.
particular, I know I'm a misfit. I know I don't fit like anyone else. And I'm not going to lie, now it doesn't bother me. But at first, it stunk because I knew. I
Right.
mean, not knowing, yeah, it's kind of sad because you don't know, but having to know was worse in my opinion because I had that pill to swallow. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't know, while it's sad to see, you don't know and you don't have that pill to swallow. You know, you have to swallow that pill.
Right.
And that pill's too big to swallow some days.
And here's the thing. Sometimes I look at others and I'm like, what if I'm not the misfit? What if you are the misfit, you know? So it's like it goes both ways. But anyway, um, on the flip side, what's the unexpected gift of not fitting in?
I think the unexpected gift of not fitting in is you get to make your own path. You don't have to follow everyone else's trend. I mean, these speaking engagements, who else can say they've done that?
Right, right.
Who else
I
can
like
say they're going to Oregon in April to speak at a conference, a parenting
nice,
conference?
very nice.
Don't
See,
get me
I
wrong, a
like
lot
it.
of people can, but they're fits.
Right,
They're not a misfit.
right. Yeah. See, I like it because people underestimate me all the time. My whole life, people underestimated me, so I can do my thing, in the background, and then I come out swinging. I love it.
Right?
It's one of
I'm the same way. People think I'm not going to do it, and then I do something like he did that. That was kind of shocking.
right. It's like, and I'm sitting here going, snicker.
I'm
Have
not
you ever?
snickering. I'm just saying I told you so.
Well, there's that too, But yeah. Anyway, have you ever wished you weren't a misfit?
Some days, yes, because as I said, autism can be a burden, and it kicks me in the mother when I'm having anxiety over something maybe ridiculous, but everyone else will be like, "Why you have anxiety over it?" Yeah. Do you think I want to have anxiety over this? Not really.
Right? Now, what's something about autism that people still get completely wrong, even the
That is,
well-meaning ones?
they don't think it's a spectrum. They think literally all people with autism have the mindset of 3 year olds.
Mm,
No, that's not everybody. When you meet one person with autism, you met one person with autism. I got several friends that are on the spectrum, and their understanding of the world is just so separate from each other. I got a buddy who has probably not the best understanding of this world. I got a friend who's got medium sized understanding of this world, and I got someone else who's on the spectrum. And him and I are very similar when it comes to understanding this world. We both
hmm.
know not to take our pants off at a restaurant. Let's put it
Well, that's
that
a
way.
win. It's definitely a win.
Whereas
Um,
someone who might have the mindset of a 3 year old might accidentally do take their pants off. Well,
right,
actually, not actually. They would take their pants off because in their mind, they wouldn't understand you're not supposed to do that at Texas
right,
Roadhouse.
right. No, and I agree with you. I mean, there's so many different variations, and it's like it's people. You meet one person doesn't mean the next person is the same way, and that goes with people that with autism with anything really, in my opinion. We're all different. We're all unique with our gifts, our challenges, and our whatevers. So let's talk about your podcast. You've had some incredible guests, but which conversation actually changed you?
Man, there's a lot of conversations I've had, but I would have to say the one that really hit home was, I think, Temple Grandin's. That one will always probably be a game changer
The
because
what?
it'll always be a game changer.
No, before that, who was that?
Temple Grandin, the biggest autism advocate out there.
Okay,
Anyway, she really shaped your mind into just the way people think. And sometimes we have to remember those with autism aren't audio thinkers, they're visual thinkers. Me, I'm a word thinker. I mean, I think in words. I mean, if you're telling me it's raining cats and dogs because you said it, guess what? I'm looking out the window thinking it's raining cats and dogs.
right.
Versus someone else who's visual, they might envision in their head it's raining cats and dogs in their mind, but they're not looking out the window.
Mm, I see that. Yep.
Or I think when one of her in her movie, because there's a biography about her, she took French and she learned "il a," which meant something in France. What does it mean? I have no idea. But in her mind, it was "il a," so she drew a bunch of eels.
Mm, interesting. Yep. The mind is a wonderful, powerful thing that, oh my gosh, so much to explore on that. So what's a moment behind the scenes where things didn't feel successful at all?
I mean, I would say a moment where things didn't feel successful at all is when you just hit a rut and you get zero downloads with your podcast, because I've had days like that, and it's just like, why do I do this? Why do I get up at 5 a.m. to advertise or edit this thing so I can next day wake up and get zero downloads?
Hmm. Yeah, that's frustrating. And you put in all that work and effort, and you think it's like so good, and then wah wah wah, nothing. So, what does success actually feel like for you? Not what it looks like for the from the outside.
Success to me actually looks like if you're doing something good with your life and you morally know right from wrong.
I love that. I love that. That's awesome. If someone's listening right now and feels broken, what would you say to them that isn't cliche?
Well, I mean, you probably heard it a million times, but you're not broken. Because,
Correct.
like you said earlier, we're all misfits. So, how can we be broken if we're all misfits and not fitting in society?
Absolutely. Love that. Then what's one belief about yourself you had to die, you had to let die to become who you are now?
One belief I had to let die is for the longest time, I thought no one in this world would find me interesting other than one person. But now I realize that was a stupid belief because there's 8 billion people on Earth. Someone's going to find you interesting. It may be someone you don't expect. Could be a World War II veteran or an old grandmother, but who cares? That's
Right.
someone that's finding you interesting. It's a human being. We'll take it.
No, I love that. Well, for what it's worth, I find you very interesting because I love your story. I love the whole everything about you. You know, it just makes my heart sing. That's all I can say. Let's see. Oh yeah, one of your favorite musics is the Undertaker theme or Silence. What matches your mood more often?
Yeah, the Undertaker theme. That is one of my favorites. That was being that was right there, a misfit right there. Because who else listens to the Undertaker's theme song that sounds like you're going to a funeral?
I know, right? I love that. So one word you delete from how people talk about autism.
Um, well, I probably should say because of I'm like a characterist, but it's a certain word that starts with an R and ends with a D. You fill out the
Mm,
rest.
yep, I agree with you on that one 100%. 100%. One thing you wish people would ask instead of assume.
Ask how my day was, and literally, or ask what. How do I learn about this? Because it's not fair to ignore it. I mean, I'm not saying you have to be a world renowned expert on it if
Hmm.
you have had no knowledge about it, but should it be in your dictionary? Yes. So learn about it. Or
I
if
love
not learn
that.
about it, get at least a basis of it so you don't confuse with a person who's on a spectrum with a drunk driver.
Mm, that makes sense. Yeah. What's the biggest myth about being high functioning?
And the biggest myth about being high functioning is that I don't have autism and I literally don't struggle. Yeah, I do. You just don't see them.
Yeah. Um, oh, if younger Sam could hear you now, what we need to hear most?
He would probably need to hear that just hang in there because your life's going to get better. Adulthood would treat you a lot better, man.
Mm, I love that. I love that. What does not broken actually mean to you today?
Not broken to me today, it would really mean just feeling well about yourself, regardless of what you do or your quirks or your unique characteristic traits.
I love it. What's one thing you want others that listen with autism or any of the autism spectrum things? You know, I mean, there's so many out there. What's one thing you would like for them to take away today?
I want them to take away that your autism can be a gift and can lead you to success, but just utilize it correctly and you will have some hard days, but don't let those hard days beat you down so bad.
I love that. That is amazing. Ah, Sam, you're good for the soul, my friend. I have to say, I
That's what I've been
appreciate
told,
you.
apparently.
No, you're awesome. Hey, if people want to get a hold of you, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
So you can find me on your favorite media platform. Not a hard guy to find. Just Google me in your search engine optimization. Something will pop up.
Okay.
But Google search Autism Rocks and Rolls. Don't search the basketball player because if you search my name, that's what you get, a basketball player.
So you
Doesn't make
always
sense
rank high on the
myself.
search engines. Nice. I love that. Well, Sam, thank you so much for being a guest here today. And I wish you all the best, most success for your podcast and everything that you do because you are amazing.
Thank you. Appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you. Hey, guys, thank you so much for listening in. And we'll be back next week with another episode here on Home of Misfits, where normal is optional, masks are not necessary, and everybody's welcome. So we'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye. Thanks for listening to Home of Misfits by Matters of Perspective. You belong.